Madden Football brings you the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Broncos and the reigning Super Bowl champs, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Denver Broncos and our home team. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And he's got... Drop following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. Now Bridgewater. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Myers' kick is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And they'll run. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now, Williams. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Bridgewater, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Jags grab it. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. He's at the 40. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. So a potential big play by this defense wiped out by the face mask.
And disappointing because it was so unnecessary. They had the sack, but the officials are definitely keeping a close eye on the quarterback, especially the referee. They were able to spot that one immediately.
Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Hurst. And the Jaguars are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
And they'll run with Etienne. Oh, he bowls over him. Had a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. One more time with Etienne. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They'll try to run with Etienne. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Travis Etienne punching it in from a yard away. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions. but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Bridgewater's throw taken in by Sutton. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Bridgewater gives to Williams here on the draw. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
Tackle made by Adrian Phillips.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Got a man open, it's Sutton. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the gun, Bridgewater. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
There is something to a game plan when trying to keep a defense honest. When the guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
On 2nd and 10, Bridgewater. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Bridgewater. Man open left side. It's Williams. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Walked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And Myers able to knock it through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. London about set to take over on offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Lawrence's throw caught here by Metcalf. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Odell Beckham, 31 yards. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Drive that time of 6 plays, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And now Bridgewater going to turn and take a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And again, it's Bridgewater. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Jags grab it. He's at the 50. 30. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. And how about the big boys showing off the wheels?
Let's face it, anybody who watches a game, even if it goes against your team, when there's a big man with the football, everyone locks in.
All eyes.
Everyone locks in, and the rumbling, you can feel it all the way to the upper reaches of the stands.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw complete there to Beckham. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. Give him 9 there on the first